Hi, this is Thomas and welcome to another episode of iCollect.
Hi, Martina here, and today we are meeting an avid collector who got fascinated with this Japanese handheld digital toy when she was a little girl and started seriously collecting this toy about 10 years ago.
Yes, and this is a toy that was launched in 1996 and it was wildly popular, becoming the biggest toy fads of the late 1990s and the early 2000s.
Indeed, and by 2021, over 83 million units have been sold worldwide.
And you probably know by now what toy we're talking about.
Yes, it's the Tamagotchi.
Hi, I'm Rachel and I collect Tamagotchis.
Hi Rachel, welcome to iCollect.
Yes, hi, thank you for having me.
Yes,
Hi.
thanks for joining us today. So could you share with us how many Tamagotchis do you have in your collection?
I think I have more than 160 as of now, but I can't remember like the exact amount. Yeah.
Okay, and could you share with us also why do you love Tamagotchi so much and not anything else?
I think Tamagotchi is unique from any other toy because aside from it being a toy, right, it also serves like as an emotional support companion because it's like a virtual pet. So you can kind of like bring it around with you wherever you go.
I see. Would you say that that's the main attribute of Tamagotchi?
Yes, I would say to me that's the main, like I can't speak for others, but I believe that there are a big group of people out there who probably also collect Tamagotchis for the same reason as I do.
Rachel, we understand that Tamagotchi came out in the 90s, somewhere in 1996. You want to share with us the evolution of Tamagotchi over time?
So in around 1996 to 1997, we call it the vintage era. So like for example, this one is considered like a vintage. Then we also have this kind. This one is pretty unique because this is like a Singapore themed shell. So this is part of like the Asia series. And then this one is also a vintage one, but I actually had like an artist to custom paint it onto like in a design that I wanted. So this is like me and my husband and my cat.
Yeah, what about the later
collection?
as you move on?
Yeah, so that was the vintage, and then later on in the 2000, then they came out with this other series called the Connection series. So it's still black and white, similar to the vintage, but the shape changed a little bit. Like the Connection ones could be like, for example, these are considered the Connection ones. So the reason why you call them Connection is because this one actually they added the infrared technology on it, so you can actually like connect with each other. So like you can connect to befriend or even like to get married if it's the opposite gender.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay.
2010 or so onwards, then they came out with the modern series, which is like color screens. Or the most popular one I would say is the Tamagotchi piece.
Okay.
Yeah. So each there are a lot of different color screen Tamagotchis, and each of them may have different functions. Like some of them have NFC technology, some of them have infrared, and then even the later ones like the Tamagotchi Meet, it has Bluetooth technology as well, so you can actually connect it with your phone. The more recent one, I would say they came out with this like Tamagotchi Smart. So for this one, it comes in like a form of a watch. So I think it's kind of like trying to emulate like smartwatch that we have right now.
Is it like a smartwatch then?
Not really, but you can wear it as a watch and it's actually touch screen. So this is like...
Oh, I see. This is touch screen already.
This is the very first Tamagotchi that has a touch screen. Yeah, so this is how far we've come.
Yes. Do you have anything interesting trivia to share about Tamagotchis?
I would say maybe off the top of my head, I can think of two. So the first one is that I think not many people know that some models that are really rare and really obscure and really hard to obtain, especially like now. There are some really hardcore collectors that really go for those like really rare ones as well. So I think that fact is not really well known by people who think that like, oh, Tamagotchi is just a very generic or very common toy. The second one I would say is that a lot of people think that Tamagotchi is like a thing of the past, but it has actually been sold continuously even
Yes, we-
till now.
Correct.
And like I think even like the most recent model was released as recent as this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so and it's the most recent model actually was released worldwide. So it's not just like a Japanese toy per se, but it has been adopted globally. So I think these are the two fun facts.
So Richard, just now you were saying that, one of the fun facts is that the collectors worldwide going after the rare ones, I'm sure you as a collector, you will go for the rare ones as well. Do you have some of them? And perhaps you can tell us some of those that you really want, but you don't have them yet.
Yes, okay, so among my collections, right, the rare ones that are like maybe more treasured to me would be like this one. This, for example, this is the Yasashi. When Bandai created this, it was more for like really young kids. So you can see like there's a lot of little buttons and the buttons are like huge. So it's for like kids to like hold it, like easier to pull. So why this is rare is because this is targeted at really young kids. So it wasn't really like widely produced. And then the other one is the Tamagotchi. So this one was released right after the Angel. So there was this Angel Tamagotchi, so you get to like raise an angel. So
Okay.
that one was really popular. And then so Bandai decided to do a devil one alongside that one. Unfortunately, it wasn't as popular. So they stopped selling it pretty soon. So again, that's why it became really rare.
Okay.
So really sought after as well. And then the other one is the Santa Gotchi. So you actually raise Santa Claus on it. Not sure how that works. So this is rare as well. So these are the three rare ones that I probably spend like 300 plus each. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the other rare ones that I don't own that I hope I could, but I doubt I will because I don't think I want to spend that much money on it. One of it is there's a Detective Conan Tamagotchi.
Oh.
So for that one, Japan actually released only 100 units, either as a free toy or something like together with a purchase if you purchase like the Detective Conan comic book. So there's only like literally 100 units released in Japan, so it's really, really, really rare. The last time I heard that someone actually sold it for $5,000 US.
Oh, wow.
Consider
Even
5,000.
if I had the money, I'd rather spend it on something else like travel.
So the rare ones are actually not because they are hard to find. Of course, some of them are hard to find, but also because some of them are really expensive now in the aftermarket, right? Oh, wow.
So the other one that I really, really want that I kind of regret not getting it is a Tamagotchi station. So Tamagotchi station is actually not an actual Tamagotchi that we play with, but it's like a huge machine that is displayed in the retail shops in Japan. So like for customers, they'll bring their personal Tamagotchi and they can go to the retail shop and connect with that machine. Okay, so that machine, right, actually was decommissioned. It was removed from the retail shop and then some people probably got their hands on it somewhere and sold it on eBay. I found one on eBay for like $1,700. And then I almost bought it, like I added it to my cart and I almost wanted to pay, and then I asked my husband and my friends, I said, do you think it's worth spending $1,700 on a Tamagotchi? And they're like, no, I don't think so. Then I'm like, okay, fine, then I don't buy. And then later on, a few years later, I checked the prices again and it shot up to like $3,000 US. And I'm like, oh, I should have bought it before. I don't think I'm ever going to like own it now.
Earlier, you also shared that there's a new release this year. Do you have that in your collection?
Oh yes, definitely. So the latest release is actually the Tamagotchi Uni. So this is the one. Ta-da!
That's so cute.
Okay.
Yes, so this one is actually one generation after the Tamagotchi Smart.
Okay.
Yeah, so remember I said the Smart comes in the form of a watch. So actually this one comes in the form of a watch as well, but I removed it from its watch strap so I can use it like an actual Tamagotchi by itself.
Okay. Any new features that they introduced for this
Oh
one?
yes, so this one actually is the very, very first Tamagotchi that has Wi-Fi. So you can actually connect it to the internet, so you can participate with the online events and play games with other people overseas and stuff like that.
How often do you maintain your collection? Because you have a very big collection, right?
What I do is that I do put a UV protection on my glass cabinet to protect from like the sun, because the sun will cause the plastic to yellow, right? So that's actually one of my regrets. Before I moved into my new house, I actually displayed them and they were exposed to the sun. So some of them, especially like this one, for example, I mentioned that this is one of my precious ones, and you can see that it's a little yellow now. So now I have learned my lesson and I put UV over all my collection.
And what about the batteries? Because if you don't play them, do you just take the batteries out? Because
Yes, of course. So even for the brand new ones, I will actually like open the packaging really carefully and then remove the battery and put them back into the packaging to avoid like battery corrosion. Yes.
Since you've talked about the process of taking care of the insides, I see that over here we have some clothes for your Tamagotchis. Could you share with us the process of them?
did you buy them or how did you get them? Because it looks very, very specifically for Tamagotchi,
Oh yes, so about my Tamagotchi cases, you probably can see that some of my Tamagotchi, like for example, this one are in like little cases. So these are actually all handmade.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so I made them myself. So in about, I think several years ago, maybe like 2015, it all started when I wanted to buy something like a case to protect my Tamagotchi. And I saw there were some people selling handmade cases. So I thought to myself, instead of buying from them, I could probably like make them myself. So I started to make them for my own use. However, then later my friend suggested, since you can make them, why don't you sell them as well? So I started to sell them on Facebook, and then it kind of like grew from there by word of mouth, and it suddenly, like I would say accidentally, turned into a business. Yeah, so I've actually, after running that business for 2 years, the orders kept coming in and it kept increasing to the point that I couldn't really keep up anymore. Like I was working until 2 a.m. every single night, and I still had to go to work the next day. So then actually right now I'm no longer making the cases myself, because I actually engaged this other person. Her name is Grace, so we actually partner together. So actually right now she's the one making all the handmade cases.
So Rachel, what about these cases I see right here?
Yeah, so these are not handmade, but it's also like one of our my shop's like brand.
Oh, so it's a product.
Yes, so we actually like designed it and then we manufacture it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's specially for Tamagotchis.
Wow, nice.
So we've come to the end of another episode. If you like today's episode, give us a like and share.
And please subscribe to iCollect.
If you're a collector yourself and would like to share your collection, please drop us an email over here.
And to the next episode, we'll see each other again. Bye.